Welcome, everyone. We're diving deep today into a topic that's really quite fascinating, Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. I'm sure many of you already know this is a really important night in Islam,
Absolutely.
but we're going to explore it in a really unique way today,
Yeah.
through the lens of Shia traditions, specifically drawing from the insights of Tafseer Al-Qummi.
That's right. What makes this exploration particularly interesting is that Tafseer Al-Qummi goes beyond just describing what happens on Laylatul Qadr.
Right.
It actually connects it to these really deep and fascinating concepts.
Okay.
Like destiny, divine decree, and the special knowledge of the Imams, ʿalayhim as-salām.
Yeah, that's what really grabbed my attention, too. We're going to be focusing on two specific sections in Tafseer Al-Qummi: destiny and divine decree, presented to the Holy Prophet and Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, and knowledge of divine decrees. So we're not just talking about one night here.
No, not at all.
We're talking about understanding the bigger picture, right?
Absolutely.
The grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, Laylatul Qadr becomes even more meaningful when we see how it fits into these broader concepts, how it all ties together.
That's a great point.
So I think a good place to start is with this idea of destiny and divine decree. What does Tafseer Al-Qummi actually say about this relationship? Because it can be quite complex, right?
Oh, I know. It's a question that's always kind of perplexed me,
Yeah.
Is everything really preordained, or do we actually have free will? Does Tafseer Al-Qummi even try to answer that question?
It does, and it's really interesting how it approaches it. One of the things that it does is it directly quotes a verse from the Quran, from Surah Baqarah, verse 235,
Okay.
which says, "And do not confirm the marriage tie until the writing is fulfilled." So this idea of the writing really points towards a kind of preordained destiny.
So it's like everything's already been written down somewhere.
Right.
That raises a lot of questions for me, to be honest.
Yeah, right. That's a pretty big concept to grapple with.
Exactly.
To delve a little deeper into this, Tafseer Al-Qummi brings in the story of Prophet Adam ﷺ and Hawa ﷺ. Remember, they disobeyed Allah's command, right?
Yeah.
Even though this concept of a preordained decree is present. So then it makes you think, well, if everything is already decided, how can they be held accountable for their actions?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So how does Tafseer Al-Qummi address this?
Yeah.
Like, how do they reconcile this idea of everything being predetermined with our actions and choices?
Well, they explain that, yes, the grand scheme of existence is written,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean that every single detail is set in stone.
Right.
It emphasizes that our choices still matter. We have this ability to make decisions, to obey or disobey. And those decisions, those choices, they have consequences. It's kind of like you have a roadmap.
Okay.
You have a general direction, but you still get to choose which specific path to take, you know?
Oh, so
It's not about just being passive, sitting back and letting things happen. No, not at all. In fact, Tafseer Al-Qummi really highlights the importance of supplication and striving, of actually putting in the effort.
Yeah.
And a great example of this is in the story of Prophet Musa, ﷺ, where he constantly prayed and worked really hard to liberate the Bani Israel.
Right.
So even though their ultimate destiny was in Allah's hands, he didn't just sit around waiting.
Yeah, he kept pushing forward.
Exactly. He continued to supplicate. He continued to take action.
So it's about finding this balance between acceptance and action, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Accepting that there's a divine plan,
Oh.
but also playing our part in it. And this concept becomes even more important, more relevant when we think about Laylatul Qadr.
Right.
If this is the night where destinies are being shaped, then our actions, our supplications, our intentions, they really carry a lot of weight.
Wow. I'm really starting to see how all of these concepts are intertwined. It's not just about destiny or our free will.
Right.
It's about how they actually work together, especially on a night as powerful as Laylatul Qadr.
Absolutely. And there's another fascinating concept introduced in Tafseer Al-Qummi that adds another layer to this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the concept of Hanafiya.
Hanafiya. I'm not familiar with that term. What does it mean?
So in Tafseer Al-Qummi, Hanafiya refers to 10 specific practices, 10 things that were brought by Prophet Ibrahim ﷺ.
Okay.
And it says these practices will remain unchanged until the day of judgment.
Wow.
So this implies that there are certain fundamental aspects of existence that are predetermined and unchanging.
So it's kind of like a foundation, a base upon which everything else is built.
Exactly. It's like this core set of principles that govern the universe. But within this framework, there's still room for individual destinies to unfold based on our choices, based on our actions.
So we have this interplay between divine will and human agency.
Exactly.
It's really quite fascinating. And it makes me wonder, what about the Imams, ʿalayhim as-salām? What does Tafseer Al-Qummi say about their understanding of all of this destiny, this divine decree, especially in relation to Laylatul Qadr?
Now that's where things start to get truly mind-blowing. Tafseer Al-Qummi really emphasizes that the Imams, ﷺ, have a unique knowledge about these divine decrees.
Okay.
They're not just spiritual leaders.
Right.
They're like guides who are there to help us navigate this complex path of destiny.
That's a really intriguing concept.
It is.
Is there an example in Tafseer Al-Qummi that illustrates this, like how this knowledge works in practice?
There are actually quite a few, but one really fascinating one is where it mentions a hadith from Imam Jafar as-Siddiq, ﷺ, about the caller mentioned in Surah Araf, verse 44.
Right.
So Imam Jafar as-Siddiq, ﷺ, states that the caller in that verse is actually Amirul Mu'mineen Ali, ﷺ. And he says that this call will be heard by every single person on the Day of Judgment.
Wow, that's a powerful image.
It is, and it really highlights the special status of the Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, their unique connection to these decrees, especially in the context of judgment.
So it's not just a theoretical understanding they have.
No.
They have this direct connection, even on the Day of Judgment.
Precisely. And this connection is further emphasized in another hadith, which is narrated by Muhammad bin Fuzail from Imam Ali Reza, alayhi as-salam.
Okay.
And in this hadith, Imam Ali Reza, alayhi as-salam, talks about how the roots of Alāhu Muhammad, alayhi as-salam, are actually joined to the divine throne.
Wow. Roots joined to the divine throne. I don't even know what to say. That's incredible.
Right. It paints a pretty vivid picture.
It does. So what does this say about the Imams, ﷺ as-salām?
Well, it suggests this really deep, intimate connection to divine knowledge, like a connection that goes beyond our everyday understanding.
Yeah, way beyond.
And it's through this connection that they gain these insights into divine decrees and what they mean for humanity.
This is fascinating. So how does this unique knowledge help us, especially on a night like Laylatul Qadr, where our destinies are being decided?
Yeah.
I guess that's something we'll have to explore further when we come back. We were just talking about the Imams, ʿalayhim as-salām, and their extraordinary knowledge of divine decrees. I'm curious, how does this knowledge actually guide us, especially on Laylatul Qadr? Because, we can't exactly ask them directly, can we?
That's true, we can. But Tafseer Al-Qummi does give us some really interesting clues.
Okay.
One that I find particularly fascinating is how it interprets verses 19 and 20 from Surah Ar-Rahman.
Okay.
So the verses say, "He has made the two seas to flow freely so that they meet together. Between them is a barrier which they cannot pass."
Yeah, two seas meeting but not mixing, that's quite an image.
It is, right.
What does it actually symbolize in this context, though?
Well, Tafseer Al-Qummi explains that these two seas actually refer to Imam Ali, alayhi as-salam, and Lady Fatima, alayha as-salam.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful analogy.
It is.
What does it tell us about their relationship to divine knowledge?
Well, it highlights their really unique spiritual status, right? And this vastness, this depth of their knowledge and wisdom.
I see. So they're like these sources of divine light, almost.
Yeah.
And their knowledge is like this ocean that we can draw from.
Exactly. And especially on Laylatul Qadr, when you think about it, destinies are being shaped, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they act as these beacons,
Okay.
guiding us towards alignment with the divine will.
That's powerful. So Laylatul Qadr, it's not just about seeking forgiveness or blessings.
Right.
It's about aligning ourselves with Allah's will.
Exactly.
And I guess who better to guide us in that than those who are closest to him?
Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. It makes me think about, well, how do we actually access that guidance then? We can't speak to them directly, but their teachings, their narrations have been passed down to us.
Exactly. So by studying their words, reflecting on their lives, we can gain these really profound insights into destiny, into divine decree, and into how to navigate Laylatul Qadr in a way that's meaningful.
So it's about immersing ourselves in their teachings and trying to live by their example.
Absolutely. And remembering that the Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, are not just these historical figures.
Right.
They are spiritual guides, and their light can guide us.
Yeah.
If we just approach their teachings with sincerity.
It's really making me rethink my whole understanding of Laylatul Qadr.
That's great.
It's not just about staying up all night praying.
Yeah.
It's about seeking guidance, understanding the deeper meaning,
Absolutely.
and recognizing the role that the Imams, ﷺ, play in all of this?
That's the essence of what Tafseer Al-Qummi is trying to get across, that Laylatul Qadr is an opportunity for us to grow spiritually.
Right.
And the Imams, ʿalayhim wa-sallam, they're our guides on that journey.
But one question that keeps coming back to me is, if everything is ultimately up to Allah, what's the point of our striving then? Why not just passively accept whatever happens?
I think that's a question a lot of people struggle with. And Tafseer Al-Qummi reminds us that, yes, the ultimate decree does rest with Allah, but He has also given us free will, the ability to choose.
Right.
Our choices, they do shape our destiny within that framework of His plan.
So it's like we're kind of co-writing the script in a way.
That's a beautiful way to put it, yeah. We're not just passive characters in this story.
Yeah, okay.
Our actions, our supplications, our intentions, they all play a part in shaping our destiny.
Especially on Laylatul Qadr, I imagine, when the divine presence is so strong.
Exactly. And, you know, that might make Laylatul Qadr the most powerful time to actually try to shape our destinies in a way that's beneficial.
Right, to make those changes.
Yeah, because the veils are thinner, our connection to the spiritual realm, it's heightened.
So we have to be proactive in our actions, in our supplications. But how do the Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, help us with that? I mean, they can't change Allah's will, can they?
No, that's true. They can't change Allah's will. But their knowledge, it illuminates the path for us.
They help us understand the principles that are at play,
Yeah.
the nuances of divine justice and mercy,
Right.
and how our choices actually impact our lives.
So it's like having a map and compass, but in this uncharted territory.
Precisely. Their teachings, their examples, they guide us in making choices that align with Allah's will, which ultimately leads to that spiritual growth and fulfillment that we're all seeking.
Wow, I'm starting to see Laylatul Qadr in a whole new light now.
That's great.
This is really powerful stuff.
It is, and that's the beauty of Tafseer Al-Qummi. It offers this unique perspective on Laylatul Qadr, a perspective that's both enlightening and empowering at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that. So as we're nearing the end of our deep dive here, what would you say is the key takeaway that you want our listeners to remember as they prepare for Laylatul Qadr?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Laylatul Qadr isn't just about passively asking for blessings.
Right.
It's about actively engaging with the divine, seeking guidance from those who are closest to Allah. Right.
And consciously making choices that shape our destinies in accordance with His will.
I love that. It's about recognizing that we have a role to play, even within Allah's grand plan.
Exactly. And the Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, they're our companions, our guides on this journey.
This has been an incredible exploration, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling just as blown away as I am.
I hope so.
We'll be back after a short break to wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts, so stay tuned.
Wow, welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. Tonight we have truly embarked on an amazing journey, exploring the depths of Laylatul Qadr through this unique perspective offered by Tafseer Al-Qummi.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has.
We've covered so much.
We have.
From this intricate relationship between destiny and divine decree to the unparalleled knowledge of the Imams, ʿalayhim as-salām. It's
I've got to admit, some of these concepts, they've really been mind-boggling.
I can imagine.
But in the best way possible, of course. It's not every day that you get to really delve into these cosmic workings of existence and the mysteries of our faith.
You're absolutely right. But that's what makes this deep dive so powerful. It's about expanding our understanding. It's about deepening our connection to these profound truths.
Absolutely.
So as we kind of wrap up this exploration, what would you say is the most valuable insight?
Oh.
The one pearl of wisdom you hope our listeners will take away from this deep dive into Laylatul Qadr?
You know, for me, I think the most crucial takeaway is to recognize that Laylatul Qadr, it's not just a night of passively waiting for divine blessings to come our way.
Right.
It's a night where we should be actively engaging with the divine, seeking guidance from those who are closest to Allah, and really consciously trying to shape our destinies in accordance with His will.
It's so powerful. It's about understanding that we actually have an active role to play in our spiritual journey.
Yes.
Even within this framework of Allah's grand plan, right?
Yeah, precisely. And the Imams, ﷺ, as-salām, you know, with their unique knowledge and that profound connection they have to Allah, they can be our guides on this journey. They can illuminate the path for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So On this night, when these decrees are being revealed, it's so important to connect with the Imams, ﷺ,
Yes.
to seek their intercession,
Yes.
and to try to embody their qualities,
Yeah.
that piety, that wisdom, that compassion.
Right. And remember that guidance, it's not just limited to Laylatul Qadr. It's available to us every single day if we seek it.
We're absolutely right.
With sincere hearts and open minds, right? Their teachings offer a timeless map for us
Yes.
to help us navigate through all the complexities of life towards a deeper understanding of ourselves, our purpose.
This deep dive has been really transformative, and I feel like I've come away with a completely new understanding of Laylatul Qadr.
Well, that's great to hear.
It truly is.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you and with our listeners. For me, exploring these concepts, seeing that spark of understanding in others, it's incredibly rewarding.
I agree, and I think we've done something really special tonight. We've taken these really complex theological ideas and we've made them accessible, relatable, and truly inspiring, I think.
It's all about finding the right language, the right approach to illuminate these truths in a way that actually resonates with people.
Yeah.
And when we approach these concepts with genuine curiosity, with an open heart, that wisdom, it reveals itself.
Absolutely. As we conclude this deep dive, we want to leave our listeners with a final thought to contemplate. How can we, through the guidance of the Imams, ﷺ, use the blessings of Laylatul Qadr to navigate our destinies and draw closer to Allah?
It's a great question to reflect on. I would say explore Tafseer Al-Qummi, explore other Shia sources. Immerse yourself in the wisdom of the Imams, ﷺ. Allow their light to guide you, not just on Laylatul Qadr, but every single day of your life.
Beautiful. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of discovery, everyone. May your Laylatul Qadr be filled with blessings, insights, and profound spiritual transformation. Until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, keep diving deep.
O God, bless Muhammad and his household. Protect us from yourself. Safeguard us through yourself. Guide us to yourself, and take us not far from yourself. He whom you protect stays safe. He whom you guide knows, and he whom you bring near yourself takes the spoils. O God, bless Muhammad and his household, and spare us the cutting edge of time's turning changes, the evil of Satan's snares, and the bitterness of the sovereign's aggression. O God, the spared are spared only through the bounty of your strength, so bless Muhammad and his household and spare us. The givers give only through the bounty of your wealth, so bless Muhammad and his household and give to us. The guided are guided only by the light of your face, so bless Muhammad and his household and guide us. O God, he whom you befriend will not be injured by the abandonment of the abandoners. He to whom you give will not be diminished by the withholding of the withholders. He whom you guide will not be misled by the misguidance of the misguiders. So bless Muhammad and his household. Defend us from your servants through your might. Free us from need for other than you through your support, and make us travel the path of the truth through your right guidance. O God, bless Muhammad and his household, and put the soundness of our hearts into the remembrance of your mightiness, the idleness of our bodies into giving thanks for your favor, and the flow of our tongues into the description of your kindness. O God, bless Muhammad and his household, and make us one of your summoners who summon to you, your guiders who direct to you, and your special friends whom you have singled out, O most merciful of the merciful.